Hello. Today is Monday and we have officially been dealing with colds for about 2 weeks. Long colds with the kids, and as of a few days ago we had fevers. So today I'm going to talk to you about fevers and colds. So the first thing that most people are familiar with is elderberry syrup. We were blessed enough last fall. Elderberry plants actually yield really quickly. A lot of fruit trees take a few years. They were like the next year or that year. So we got elderberries last fall. And anyways, you cook them down. Some people add them to juice. You're not supposed to eat them raw like you would blueberries, but I guess just juicing a few here and there is where you get a ton of vitamin C. But they have other good things for your immune system even after you cook them down. So elderberry syrup. Now, next would be cod liver oil. It's also really good for your immune system with all the fat-soluble vitamins. But people take cod liver, fermented, I should say. We use green pastures. Just like with other fish oils, you have to be really particular or they are bad quality and they go rancid. So, we use green pastures, fermented cod liver oil. Even people that aren't on the full GAPS eat or take cod liver oil and elderberry syrup just as prevention sometimes throughout the winter. Get shocked over there. Hi, Heidi. So if our kids or me have fevers, we do not fight it. As long as it's not over like 103, 105. To be honest, I don't really take temperatures. I do a lot based on how they're acting. If, they're not responsive, that's a different story. Usually I just use my hand. If they were like roasting or something, then I might take a temperature. But usually if they're that hot, it's good for them to sleep. But if they're not responsive, that's a different story. So for us, I just let them rest and give them what they want. If they want some more mineral water, they get an extra bottle of mineral water. I should say give them what they want within the restraints of what I know is good for them. I'm not going to give them some candy. If they want ice cream, I did give them homemade ice cream. Sometimes something cold is really comforting. And the homemade ice cream is so nutritious that it's good for them to have while they're trying to heal. I was just reading the GAPS book last night, the Gut and Physiology book, that fevers are actually very cleansing. And it's a way for the body to do some deep cleaning. And even viruses and colds, it's how your body can kind of clean out some stuff that's been sludgy. Even after you get sick, sometimes you feel really good because your body a lot of toxins get stored in your bile. So sometimes just a GI virus or a stomach bug will clean out a lot. So obviously soups are good food for healing, like the broth, the meat stocks. But sometimes they don't want it, so I don't force it, whatever they're in the mood for. I really believe that our bodies know what they want or need. We're even learning this with our goats. The one goat will eat a little bit of hay and then eat some baking soda, and that helps GI stuff. And we've been giving them herbs to help them detoxify and help with the stress of moving. But they're naturally eating things that will help them in the long run. They're eating tree bark, and one of the goats had really bad dandruff type looking stuff, and it's starting to get better already. She's eating tree bark. They eat that when they need a lot of minerals, so which can be from stress or it can be from just the medication that a lot of people give goats because they can get sick. Look, what do we see? Strawberries. Strawberries. Flowers. That means we're going to have strawberries. Good? Yay.
I pick that yellow leaf?
Yeah, sure. So, back to us people. We have a tendency to know what our body needs once we start listening to it. Vitamin C is really helpful. Obviously, most people know this through food. Usually, the other supplements aren't as strong ever. Like nothing compared to food. If you ferment, I mean, oranges, everybody knows about oranges having vitamin C. Kiwi, strawberries, but also fermented cabbage, aka sauerkraut. Oh my. Can I help you? You're not supposed to be out here. How'd you get out? Come on. Good girl. The only thing with ferments is that you just have to be careful if you haven't been taking them. They can cause a die-off reaction and an overload of good bacteria. Anyways, so fermented sauerkraut is great with vitamin C if you have some. If you are really sensitive to histamines, the probiotic jars would help with that. That's another thing. If you have seasonal allergies, ferments are amazing, especially only in the probiotic jars, because ferments made otherwise have a lot of histamines in them. So you really need the probiotic jars to get an anaerobic ferment, and you will have a medicinal quality of feed. And I wouldn't doubt if your seasonal allergies slowly dissipate after using them, slowly increasing them as well. You know, you'll have to be careful with it all. So last on my list would be garlic, which is why I grow a lot of it in our garden. We use it a lot. It is so powerful for your immune system. I actually can't even tolerate it right now. But a few babies ago, after my third and fourth baby, I got some UTIs really bad. I got mastitis really bad with fever. I did take Tylenol at that point because I had so much pain and I needed to nurse the baby to help with mastitis. And I couldn't because it was so painful. So I took Tylenol, I think. But I did not go to the doctor for either the UTI or the mastitis. But what I did do is I had lots of oranges. And at that time, I was not making ferments like I am now. But I also took garlic like crazy. We were eating bread. So I would put there's a really good recipe. We used to eat it at, I don't know if it was Carrabba's. There was a place we would eat it. You put raw garlic, like rosemary, oregano, a few herbs in olive oil. And, I mean, you could let it sit, but for me, I needed it that day. And I'm talking like garlic. I would put I was trying to eat 6 to 12 cloves of garlic a day. So I'd be putting tons of it in this oil and scooping it up in bread and eating the garlic like every 2 hours, along with the oranges, and not eating sugar. I was still eating sugar and other sweet things at that point. So, and I recovered. So I really believe that you can heal yourself without needing an antibiotic. The reason I'm against antibiotics is because 9 out of 10 cells of your body are bacteria. And when you use antibiotics, most people know, I mean, I would say at least half the population's had, jeez, Pete, so I just got a frisbee threw at my head. Have had bad side effects from antibiotics. But even if you don't have an immediate side effect, it kills those bacteria. And a lot of times the bacteria are bacteria you're born with and you cannot get back. And I'm sure that happened with me. I had strep throat all the time as a child. But I know, now that I know what my gut is, it's meant to be bacteria. It's meant to be, you know, a whole culture. And when I take an antibiotic, it's killing classes and classes and millions of bacteria. I know that's not good for me in the end. So if I can use garlic, which is an herb that kills bad bacteria and boosts your immune system and doesn't harm your good bacteria, then that's what I'm gonna do. All right, garlic is also good for ear infections. We take the skin off, cut like a little sliver, wrap it in gauze, and then just put it right on the edge of the ear, and that really helps. It actually helps a lot with the pain. You'd be surprised. As soon as the kids start complaining about the ear infection during the day, we will put that in, and by the night, usually their pain is gone and they never end up needing any medication or going to the doctor. Another drink we do sometimes is we mix honey with a big pinch of salt in water or mineral water with some lemon or lime juice. And that kind of gives the flavor of like a Gatorade or a lemonade. And if you really need them to drink, sometimes that can help. Aloe is another thing that we use specifically for wounds or scratches or anything that you might use Neosporin for. I don't keep Neosporin in at my house. We just use aloe. Most of the time, we don't use Band-Aids or anything like that either. We just rinse off the wound if it has dirt on it and then put some aloe on. And that seems to suit them well. It doesn't feel great at first. It doesn't have any numbing agents in it like the medications do. But it helps it heal quickly, and then it subsides and they feel better by the end of the night. Another thing I think is interesting is when we've been sick with this cough and virus and stuff, Mary Jane has been helping herself to the liver in our freezer. I cut them up into kind of bigger pieces, so it didn't take forever cutting them up, and I chew it real quick and swallow it. And she's like addicted to liver. I think she really needs it, actually. It's cute. Liver. She goes, liver, liver. She tries to get out. Thankfully, she's asking now and not just going and leaving the freezer open and everything. But so raw liver is really good for you too, and that can help you get through a cold if you need to. I think, hold on, I think that's those are some little tips that you can do if you guys are fighting a cold, to prevent a cold, that have helped us in the past. And you don't have to be on the GAPS diet to do them. Obviously, I believe that healing your gut can get to the root of toxicity that's sloshing around and causing inflammation and joint pain and all sorts of crazy symptoms in your body. But sometimes, well, that takes time and you aren't ready to do it yet. So here's a few things that can help you just slowly stop using medication, or if you can. I'm not your doctor, so I don't want to say you're going to stop using medication, but at least help your body fight infections. So always
remember, you the best, and you should do.
You're so cute. That's it.